Okay, so I actually decided to split this concept into 3 videos. So this is part 3 of mixed numbers. Okay, so this is where we're going to go the other way. So in our last video, we went from a mixed number to an improper fraction. This time we are starting with an improper fraction and we're changing that to a mixed number. So interestingly, this is actually the process you will use to simplify a improper fraction. Okay, so if you see an improper fraction or you get that as an answer and it's asked you to write your answer in simplest form, you should be thinking, I've got to change this to a mixed number, and this is the process that you use. Okay, so there's 4 steps to this one. Step number 1, ask yourself, how many times does the denominator divide into the numerator? This will be your whole number. How much is left over? That's the numerator. Write this leftover number on top of the original denominator and then check if it can be simplified any further. So that might be a bit hard to visualize, so let's do some examples like I did in the previous video and we'll talk through those steps again. Okay, so the first improper fraction we will work with is 19 over 2. Okay, let's think about those steps. How many times does the denominator 2 fit into or divide into my numerator of 19? Okay, so 2 fits into 19, not exactly, which means we'll have some left over, which is pretty normal. So 2 fits into 19 9 times. 2 times 19 is 18. Okay, so I don't write 18, but I write how many times it fits into it. 9 times. Okay, 2 times 9 gets me to 18, so I actually have 1 left over. That's my second step. How much is left over? 1 is left over to get me to the 19. Write this leftover number over the top of the original denominator, which is the 2, and then just check to see if this fraction part, the 1/2, can be made any smaller by simplifying it. Now 1/2 can't because it's already got the 1 as a numerator, so I can't make a half any smaller by dividing it. So my answer is 9.5. So 9.5 is the same as 19 over 2. Let's do another example. Okay, let's say I have a improper fraction of 42 over 5. Okay, so again, I'm asking how many times does my denominator fit into my numerator before it goes over that number. So 5 divides into 42, not exactly again. So it goes into 40 though, okay? So it goes into 48 times exactly. And then because it's 42, there's 2 left over, my original denominator of 5. And then again I check, can 2/5 be made any smaller? No, it can't. Okay, so it's 8 2/5. Let's do another one. So 12 over 9. How many times does 9 fit into 12? Just 1 time. And then I have 3 left over, my original denominator of 9. Now, when I look at that, I can see that 3/9 here can be made smaller if I was to simplify it. So actually the final answer is 1 whole number, that stays the same, and to simplify 3/9 I divide by highest common factor of 3, so that gives me 1 1/3. So actually this is my final answer, but I would expect you to go through this process first. Okay, so 1 1/3. Alright, I'm going to give you 2 examples now for you to try by yourself. So again, just like the last video, I'll get you to have a look at the examples, pause the video, have a go yourself in your book, and then see how you go by playing the rest of the video. Okay, so your first fraction is 39 over 12. And your second fraction is 16 over 12. Okay, pause that video now, go back up to the steps if you need to and talk yourself through that. Okay, so hopefully you're asking yourself, how many times does 12 fit into 39? Okay, it fits in 3 times, that gets me to 36. And then I've got 3 over 12. So again, just like this example above, that actually would need to be simplified to 3 1/4 as a final answer. Okay, now we've got 16 over 12, so how many times does 12 fit into 16? It fits in 1 time, and then I've got 4 over 12 remainder. So again, I need to simplify this bit a little bit more to make it 1/3. So by this stage in our learning of fractions, there's starting to be a couple of concepts from previous chapters that you need to understand to then further develop yourself. So in these questions, we are learning, of course, to go from improper to mixed numbers, but you also need to have understood simplifying fractions as well. So by now you need to be starting to make sure you're revising and understanding those base level topics really well.